Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I've got a few messages for you. We'll start from the 13th, February 13th. There's talk of you advertising yourself. Apparently, you either have a website or a blog or a YouTube channel or some other format that you speak freely on. And the things you speak about perhaps aren't on their approved list or something, I don't know. Or maybe you're just exposing yourself by speaking freely. They're discussing your reputation and your energy. They're complaining about pheromones, yours, and how they are affecting others. Type 0, someone said. So they're discussing your blood type. Some of these entities out there, they cannot procreate with specific blood types. You know, we've got hybrids out there and they're just not compatible. There's something about Taylor. Now, Taylor is a first name, and they want to harvest your essence and plant it on her. Take it as it resonates. They've got to get you into South Node so that they can harvest it. There's at least 4 to 6 misogynists, narcissists discussing this. Something about a procedure. They want to rearrange the who, what, when, where, why, and how for somebody, namely you and the one they want to put your energy onto. There's something about the Olympics. Now, the idea of Olympism or the Olympic spirit has been skewed. They've turned it into a freaking foot race and others, which end in a gold medal. But here's what it is. The Olympic spirit is expressed through actions. This philosophy fosters common bonds among people. By valuing the balance between body, mind, and determination, anyone can establish for themselves a way of life that blends sport with culture, education, and cooperation. It is a philosophy of life that puts sport at the service of humanity. The way that this realm has set up Olympics has taken it away from the idea of being an Olympic spirit. They have turned it into a competition, resulting in a gold medal rather than a philosophy that applies sports to the service of humanity. Now, sport isn't necessarily a competitive sport. It's culture, education, and cooperation. Be a good sport. They've perverted the idea of being an Olympic spirit. They're talking about polecat, which is a wild ferret or a skunk-like animal, a flesh-eating mammal, a member of the weasel family. It also means, in the spiritual aspect of it, protection, fearlessness, and resilience. Now, sometime back, we had this whatever, this political governmental thing where Lady Gaga got up there wearing the Hunger Games outfit, right? The blouse with the dove on it and the skirt and the hair, and everything was just done just right, like the Hunger Games announcement, let the games begin. So the curator of human life force and vitality has been complaining about animals. Now, I've been pondering this, because of the way that they have been treating everyone like an animal. Very disrespectful, very brutal, terrorizing, traumatizing. They've got the daily walk of death, this blood ritual of draining the life force vitality out of the animal. They have hunting parties, so I hear, where actual human beings are hunted in the woods by men on horses, who are using hunting dogs or beagles or whatever. So they're talking about this, and then so polecat was mentioned, and a little later in here they're saying that there's already a game show. So it's like the animals who have been traumatized by, living very short lives, and then their souls like repeatedly traumatized through this brutal slaughtering process. It's like their souls are still intact or whatever, and now it's like these ones are going to be hunted by the flesh-eating mammal. At first I thought they were going to become animals, but now I'm not so sure. Now, this is for entertainment purposes. Only take this as it resonates. I'm doing my best to process the information as it comes in, and, perception and perspective shifts as we flow through the river of life and gain greater understanding. So please take what resonates and throw out the rest, because this is just what I'm picking up. And what I pick up is I only hear in part. I don't know the whole story. So please take it as it resonates. I heard the words Swanee River, da 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 da. So there could be some men that present here from the Civil War. They could be missing home. They want to come home. This is like the dead shall rise, right? And these agitators here a little bit further, they're talking about you being a medium. So you're picking up on what they have deemed the dead, right? Which is simply a change in frequency, which makes it appear as though you enter into a new dimensional system. So again, take that as it resonates. These agitators, so now we're on February 14th, Valentine's Day. So these agitators are talking about a Christian woman. And what seems to me to be their interdimensional boss of this earthly curator of the vital force energy, the life force energy of life. They're asking this one if she is programmable. And he said she needs medication. So she may not be fully stable in the mental body or in the physical body. Now, I discovered recently that on the CIA.gov site, that apparently there has been a harvesting of bioplasma of the animals and of the humans, and there has been, this energy has been utilized to create false telepathic messaging programs. I am God, do as I say. I think a lot of people who actually are suffering from mental instability are being affected by this technology. Now, when I was first attacked 20 plus years ago with this technology, it was a major mind RAPE. It's like it was like that hemisync, like the brain was split and it's like everything was like boo boo, like something could be said on here and then something could be said here, and it was like back and forth between the light and the dark, and they were repeating, like these people who were they were crossing over the half court, what is a half court violation. This is what they were doing, and it was like boom 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 boom, and very, very traumatizing to the mental field. It's like the satellites, that you might envision in space that are coming. There's just a massive amount of them interfering in the people of the planet receiving the messaging, the telepathic messaging of the divine. These ones have settled themselves right here. So once I was able to work through that, like that Milky Way of satellites or whatever, interference, then I was able to tap into the true telepathy of the divine. So anyway, this is a very painful thing that they utilize to program people with and to drive their minds into whatever speech pattern, or however they choose to get them to wear their hair or whatever. They want to replace the true chosen ones with those that they can command using religious programming. They want this new round of feminines. Apparently this is a flip, and the feminines are going to be recognized for the honor and the respect that they deserve as being the mother of souls. But these misogynist narcissists want to replace her with their representative, which they say can't have tattoos, they got to have perfect teeth, they got to look angelic, and they have to say only what they're told to say and only do what they're told to do. They cannot be free and sovereign beings out here speaking their mind and telling everyone how they were able to get their light shining and overcome the darkness that tried to drown them. See, they want their visual perception of what an angelic feminine should look like. But the truth of the matter is that growing and expanding requires the explosion of some kind of a supernova. And these ones don't want to go through the internal work of boom, 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 being blown apart and then having to rebuild self, right? It's all an internal process. And rather than do that, they go out and they throw bombs at people who are doing that, right? So these ones who like to have external bombs and explosions are at war with those light-bearing people who are having the internal bombs and explosions going off, building themselves back up, expanding themselves out into greater light and capacity. They can't have you being a representative out here, being in love with the divine that flows in you and resides in the flesh temple that you have come to know as you. They're talking about doing voodoo, and they're talking about cell phones. So it's like they're wanting to send out a signal or some kind of an emergency broadcast, perhaps. Or somebody who's been doing voodoo is being surveilled and tracked, because they were talking about that the other night too, being surveilled, some kind of a surveillance. It appears that one of their mascots, their feminine mascots that they have been utilizing for many centuries now, she's very popular, and I'm not going to say the name, but she has been diagnosed with dementia. So she has lost her capacity to manipulate others. This curator is trying to convince others that your light is false. See, they have put a lot of toxins into the food supply, right? Prepackaged, processed foods. All you got to do is add water. they're talking about, they're talking about your light being false. They want to convince people that your light is false because they have been injecting all flesh bodies with toxins and I believe CRISPR technology without people being aware. They've been altering the genetics and shutting down the cellular structure's ability to manifest electricity and therefore light. They've been toying with the emotional body and implanting negative thoughts so that the emotions, the magnetics of the emotions are spinning with the seated negative thoughts, like negative self-talk or negative anger issues from unhealed traumas or whatever. And they want you to power this kind of a thought form. They don't want you to output healing information because they don't want people to be unprogrammable. So apparently you have a regimen. You take care of your temple. You don't allow the medical system to determine what it is you will do with yourself to maintain your health. Like, you don't do unnecessary things simply because the medical system tells you that you should. You actually command your own temple and the health and well-being of it. And they're afraid of this because you've been successful in moving against the darkness that was meant to swallow you, that was meant to change you and shut you down. So these ones are testing their programming capabilities on the organic minds. For example, it's not normal for people to punch each other out and to wrestle each other in the aisles of a shopping center over toilet paper. That's happened a couple of times. This is a program running through their minds. It goes very, very deep, this technology. And it's really obvious to those of us who are aware and actually see it for what it is. So again, there's something about your teeth. There could be a periodontal disease. This seems to be a very serious topic for them. You know, you have a reputation that people actually care for you and like you, and they don't want you as the representative because you don't look like their idea of what an angelic should look like. And they can't control you because you are a sovereign being who has been through the ringer, man. They tried to take you out. They were doing ugly spells, make your teeth fall out spells, you know, destabilize your foundation spells, all these kinds of spells to make you look ugly, you know, appear ugly, you know, act to look as though you're just this drug addicted hoe bag who can't get it together. I mean, they really laid a lot of karmic debt onto you, and so you suffered for it. So, you know, you're not going to look like you got to walk the easy walk, because guess what? That's not how divine works. If anybody's out there saying God's got me, well, I'm sorry. God puts you through the freaking ringer so that you can get your glow on and earn that precious reward and ability. A lot of them are out there stealing it and pretending that they are it arrogantly. So there's a lot of folks out there that are technically dead. They were born of still and stagnant waters. They don't have the chakra system that you have, connected to the rainbow, connected to the divine, connected to the Most High. They don't have this system in them, so they don't have a light body. And in order for them to blend in with everybody, they have to shut down the light system, the light producing system within the organic bodies. And that's why there's so many injections. I mean, they tell you that it's for your health, but it's for their health. They need your light production to be dimmed so that they're not standing out in such an obvious way to those who have the vision. So there's clairaudience and clairsentience and claircognizance, right? Some people have the vision, they can see the aura, and if you were to shine as you were meant to shine, they would be very, very obvious, those ones who don't. So that's I feel the main reason behind pre-processed foods and the microwave, right? You're eating pre-processed foods, you're putting it in the microwave, which zaps and kills all of the nutrition in it, so your temple is not getting the nutrients it needs for proper cellular function and light producing ability. So they're trying to convince people that your light is false, because they've got most everybody shut down to some extent, and they're not shining brightly. There's a masculine who said she has no idea what's going to happen to her, and then the actual divine said masochist. So this narcissist masculine, they're a masochist. The divine has called them out as somebody who gets off and pleasure from pain. And this is the truth. When these misogynist narcissists say they love you, what they mean is they love it when they can cause you pain. It brings them great pleasure. So now it's a narcissist, misogynist, masochist that's in the energy. One masculine said to another, he lost his appendage. I'm not going to elaborate on that. Take it as it resonates. There's discussion of your potency, and there's a questioning about your consistency. Like, what are your weaknesses? They're trying to come up with a plan where they can get into a moment where you might not be as potent, that they can get in there and perhaps, sneak, like do one of them uppercuts or something, get you when you're not looking or when you're not ready. They're talking about Jamaica again, and apparently there is a spiritualist there that is highly recommended. Highly, I say, because they keep talking about this person in Jamaica. And just a few days back, there was a Syrian that said it was a waste of time to do that. But they're still discussing it. They're searching for some sort of a loophole, like a weakness, a loophole. Where can they get in? There's something about running for state. So it's like you might be running for state. You might actually be considering being part of the actual system, which puts in place programs necessary for the people. New programming that's meant to help rather than hinder. So it appears as though anyone doing voodoo, hoodoo, or any kind of magic on you, any kind of magic, they're forfeiting everything they have. The curator of vital force is telling someone that you are an American. And then the divine spirit. See, discernment is really wonderful. Then the divine says, hallelujah. And then about 10 minutes later, hallelujah. So there's a lot of celebration going on out there because you have risen like the phoenix, and you are being seen, and you are making changes in the spirit, which will affect the 3D. And eventually you may actually find yourself in some kind of a political position. They're hungry, a deep growling masculine said. They feed on the light source, on the living pain energy, of this light source, and they're suffering. Some information is out there that some military whistleblower said that there was an agreement made by governing systems of the last chapter that if they fed them while they were down there, they would not come up top to feed. So there was an agreement made, and they're very hungry because they've been cut off from the source of this, and they're getting upset about it. This curator has lost the ability to feed this beast, this Godzilla, right? The god of the shadows that they have pledged allegiance to, feeding light source essence to. So, and here's where that, apparently there's already a game show. So about the animals, I don't know what's going on with the animals, but the curator seemed very concerned about it. I don't know what that means. It sounds to me like they got a return on their intentions for you. Somebody sold a person. See, these ones they've been needing money. So this one sold a person, and another person said angrily, "Why would you do that?" They were told not to do that, but they needed money. This curator of life force, essence, and vitality is talking about the merchandise of the earth angel. Their harvest went bad. See, they intended to feed you to this shadow god, where they would be getting a portion of the life force vitality, and then they would continue to fuel the illusion of balance and harmony. But they're not able to hold up their end of the deal, and so this Godzilla is angry. His people are hungry. Someone said, "Tell me about your sister." So apparently she's skilled, but she needs the energy. So she can really F someone up if she can access their energy. And apparently she told them this one, she's told this one to forget about you. Every time she does something against you, it backfires. They're calling you a high priestess. Then I heard a masculine say, "Let go, man," like somebody's manhandling him. The interdimensional leader of this curator of human energy said, "I promise you." So he's making a promise that he'll be able to get them out of this mess, or that somehow they'll be able to obtain you and stop you from further progress. They want to restore their control mechanism and their authority over the collective field of mental awareness that is shared by the organic original people, those with true divine connections. They want to shut you down and interfere with those messages that you're getting. You're known to be a medium, and you are in control of your mind. So these ones, you know, they they refer to those who transition into another vibratory frequency as dead, right? Well, it's just a transition into another state. Life doesn't end, it doesn't go away, it doesn't die. But they have labeled everything, you know, with lies. So anyway, they were using these ones against you to harm you, to try to destroy you and trap you. But you're a medium, so they know that the lies that these ones have been telling them about you is not true. And they may even like you by now, I don't know. There's a product, one of them said. And associated with this, and it sounded like they said Roger. So there's a product associated with it is Roger or writer. Take it as it resonates. So then while I was sleeping, I felt tampering in my solar plexus energy. So it was like this sister or somebody was trying to tamper with the life force essence, right? The powerhouse of my temple, my solar plexus. And they've done a lot of this over the years. So they're trying to harvest the energy, tamper with the energy, offload death energy. It didn't feel like they were offloading death energy. It felt more like they were trying to harvest or do something else. There's something about an Israelite. And it sounded like they were calling you Jehovah's Witness. I'm not religious. I know there's a lot of controversy and anger issues between the religious factions of people. They all think they know best, and nobody's willing to purify their minds so that they can be more harmonious. Since they call you Jehovah's Witness, you could be an Israelite that they had martyred and then hid, you know, somewhere where nobody could see you while they drained your life force and tried to bury you so that you could not bear witness, as was your task. But you did. It was like you were the embedded mole or the virus within the virus. These agitators are talking about getting next to you. It's like they want to shut down your psychic ability. They want to shut down your ability to generate light within your temple. It's like they want to inject you with something. So please be aware of your surroundings, and I might suggest that you not let anybody get into your toroidal field, right? 6 feet, please. That's what I got for you. I hope that this brings clarification to something you already intuitively knew, and I will see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.